Hey guys, Angie B here with today's vlog, and I hope you guys are all buckled in and ready for a ride, because today's vlog topic is how scrumptious Tony Stark is in Iron Man. This is basically just an opportunity for me to fangirl all over the place about Robert Downey Jr. and how much I love him, so I'm excited. So, Iron Man, if you guys did not see the movie, okay, go to a video store, go get it, watch it now. Oh my gosh, I love this movie so much. I saw this movie 6 times in the theater. It tied with Return of the King as the most times I ever saw a movie in the theater, until Star Trek came out, and Star Trek broke it with 7. But, Iron Man. Okay, so I grew up reading a lot of comics. I was definitely a big geek. But I never really liked the Iron Man comics. I read Batman and I read X-Men, but Iron Man just didn't really appeal to me that much, because it was the same sort of basic shtick as Batman, you know, rich playboy, and he has a lot of gadgets and, you know, really awesome pad and servants and blah-de-blah-de-blah. But I don't know. I really liked dark and angsty, and Batman was all kinds of delicious dark and angsty, so I just never really read Iron Man comics. And so I didn't really know that much about Iron Man going into the movie. All I knew was that Robert Downey Jr. was playing Tony Stark, and really that's all the reason I need to go see a movie. I adore Robert Downey Jr. I've been a fan of his for years, but my true passion, my true fangirling for Robert Downey first came about in 2005 when Kiss Kiss Bang Bang came out. And, I mean, I liked Robert before then. I'd seen plenty of Robert movies, you know, growing up. My mom, you know, was a bit of a fangirl for Robert Downey Jr. But it wasn't until Kiss Kiss Bang Bang that I really felt like head over heels for him. I think he's so sexy, and he's so pretty, and he can do the puppy dog eyes, which always makes me melt. And he looks really good in suits, and he looks even better in t-shirts that are all ripped up, and oh my god, in that scene in the movie when he's pounding on the anvil, I still can't watch that scene without having a moment, because holy crap, Robert Downey Jr. I think he did a masterful job in Iron Man, because Tony Stark is a very human sort of comic book hero. He's very vulnerable at times, and he, you know, yeah, he's a hard-drinking, hard-partying womanizer for the most part, but it's all just a cover-up, because he's a rich boy, and he's had everything handed to him on a silver plate, and I love that they really explored in the movie how when he finally faced with the toll that his weapons and his, you know, company has on the world, and all the destruction that he's helping to bring about and profiting off of, I'm glad that they really, like, addressed that, and, you know, he had a change of heart and you know, a stab of conscience, and I really like that because it brought some pathos to his character. And anytime Robert Downey Jr. gets to be all angsty and wibbly, oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It just makes me want to, like, jump into the movie and give him comfort sex or something. I love Robert Downey as Tony Stark because he's got fantastic hair, he's got fantastic facial hair, he gets to show off his arms good a lot, which, I'm all for that. And he also just gets to be snarky and goofy and witty, and I love watching him play off of Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts, because I love Gwyneth Paltrow. I think she's so classy and she's so talented, and I love that she took a character that could have been so two-dimensional. You know, oh, she's just some helpless damsel in distress / secretary, and she brought some fire and some spark and some pizzazz to Pepper. And I just love Pepper's first scene when she gets to show just how, like, she's not putting up with any of this bullshit. And I love it. I love Pepper and Tony together so much. I refuse to call them pepperoni because that just sounds so ridiculous, but I really like Pepper and Tony together, and I'm really, really hoping that the next movie will, you know, give us some satisfaction, all of us Pepper and Tony fangirls. I want to see some stalking, you know, come on. Now that she's CEO of the company and everything, they're more equals, and I'm just, I so want some Pepper Tony stuff going on. I also love Iron Man because, I mean, the music is really fantastic. It's just great music, and it's great music to drive to, too. You know, the track Driving with the Top Down is probably my favorite, and it's just, it's great action movie music, and yet it's also very pretty, and there's lots of Middle Eastern twists thrown into it, so I just love it. I thought they did a great job of making Iron Man a completely human sort of character. In a lot of the comic book movies, where they rely a lot on sci-fi or on CGI and stuff, you kind of start to forget that there's an actual person that's supposed to be behind the mask and, you know, in the costume and stuff, because it just becomes about all the special effects. And while there were tons of really awesome special effects in Iron Man, I loved that Jon Favreau and Robert Downey managed to bring enough of the character out that even when it was Iron Man who was, like, you know, blowing up terrorists and attacking Warmonger and all that stuff, I loved that you got to see that, you know, the actual character was still there. It wasn't just a suit, it wasn't just a costume, you could still see Tony. And I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Tony has to have Pepper pull out the wire out of his chest, because it's like a strangely touching, funny, romantic moment, and it's so amusing. And you get to see him with his shirt off. If you can't guess by now, I really like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's incredibly talented, too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't just want him for his massively amazing body. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I think he's one of the most accomplished actors ever, and I'm so glad that he got his act together and that he got over the drug problem and that he's, you know, back on track, and he did so good in Tropic Thunder, and I'm so excited for Sherlock Holmes, even if it's going to be ridiculous and not at all like the actual books, and I love Robert Downey Jr., and I'm so glad that he's got his comeback, you know, in full swing, and I really can't wait for the second Iron Man movie. Holy crap. The only thing I'm upset about, the only two things I'm upset about, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow was just totally not right. I would have loved to have seen Mia Jovovich as Black Widow. That would have been perfect. And I don't really like that they replaced Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle. I love Don Cheadle. I think he's a fantastic actor, but I don't think he's really Rhodey for me. Terrence Howard definitely felt more like Rhodey for me. I mean, after I saw the movie, I, you know, looked into some more of the Iron Man, you know, comics and stuff, and I think Terrence Howard was definitely more in keeping with Rhodey than Don Cheadle, so I'm kind of sad that they, you know, changed that, but more Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. I hope I didn't get too, like, for you, and I'll check you guys later.